Today's installment of Stupid Shit Atheists Say is inspired by Reddit, of all places, where the front page is often flooded with postings from our atheism. This is a post of somebody who's unhinged by the Orange Man. I am an atheist, but I pray that Donald Trump dies of natural causes before the election. Okay, I'm not out here trying to call anybody a fool. Jesus advised us to never call somebody a fool. And I think that's really good advice and a way to separate yourselves from... It's obvious when you look out there on the world and you see people having their little petty arguments, how quickly it turns into people just calling each other idiots all over the place. So I think that's part of the reason why you shouldn't call somebody a fool, is that that's how the world operates, that things quickly devolve into just, well, you're stupid kind of arguments. And I mean, it gets deeper than that. The Bible tells us specifically that you're going to be, the world is going to hate you. The world is going to call you a fool. And there's other Bible verses that I'll get into in a second that are really, really interesting, talking about wisdom and people that think they're wise and all that. But a main point of this video that I want to point out is that this is a big stumbling block for a lot of people, myself included, that you're going to have a hard time finding God if you're obsessed or you value highly needing to be thought of as intelligent by others. So I'll just say that again because that's kind of a lot going on. If to you it's really important to be perceived as intelligent by the world, it's going to be a lot harder for you to find God. That's a big stumbling block. And part of my, what I would call my awakening journey or getting a relationship with Jesus has been just understanding that there's going to be a lot of people out there that call me stupid, and I just don't care anymore. And I suggest everybody adopts that, not caring what the world thinks of you. So here's just some stuff from Reddit. My mother taught me to never wish death on anyone. She was wrong. That was before Trump. Orange man bad. First thing I think of every day. How unhinged are some of these people? The first thing I think of every day, I hope he drops dead on camera in one of his idiot rants. So much peace when you learn that all the world's a stage and that people like Trump are just characters that literally were invented. They say things specifically to trigger people. It's like rage bait. You know the obvious rage bait videos out there that your boomer parents probably don't even know are rage bait, or, you know, like get a million upvotes even though it's really clearly rage bait. Donald Trump is clearly just rage bait to get the unhinged blue lodgers to spaz out, to screech, and works brilliantly. You are forgiven, my child. I'm confident many atheists can say the same or similar. It's just that bad. Most are not serious. Putin has terminal cancer and won't die. Evil people never die by natural causes. Atheists can pray. They just know there aren't any deities out there listening. Okay, well, that doesn't make any sense to me. And I think that this just shows that even people that label themselves as atheists, they still are drawn towards prayer. And you put them up on an airplane that starts going through some extreme turbulence. Do you think they're going to just be there stoically sitting? Or how many atheists start praying when an airplane's going through extreme turbulence? How many atheists turn to prayer when they're being triggered by something like Orange Man? It's just very interesting to me. And even when I didn't believe in God, I still wanted to. God put that spirit into most people, I think, to want it. And I think that one of the biggest stumbling blocks is that people don't want to be seen as stupid. And that really keeps a lot of people in line. That what the Matrix, this society, this place that they've created, there's an implication going on. Oh, you believe in God, you must be stupid. And so that gets a huge amount of people to just shut down when it comes to religion, because they're like, I don't want to be perceived as dumb, so I'm not going to go there. And you got to get over it. There's more to life than the physical don't be a helic. There is a spiritual. See that even atheists want to pray, and they want to do that. How often when something crazy goes in an atheist life, they love to be prayed for. They say, send me prayers if you're into that, or good vibe. What are good vibes supposed to do? That's prayer for people that want to still be seen by the world as I'm intelligent, because I'm not going to say stuff about God. It's really, people just need to see it for what it is. You're scared of being religious because you don't want to be seen as stupid. I think that is hugely true and relevant today. But this is something where the youngins these days have. It's good that they've turned it around. Leave it to the youngest generation to always try to battle what's being pushed on them. I think that the over-the-top atheist is like the smart thing has really, the youngins these days, I think, many of them go against that. But of course, not all of them. I think in general, people still assume that if you're intelligent, you must be atheist. But hey, I went to college. I have 2 degrees in STEM fields, and here I am saying that the bulk of what I learned math, so it's a little different. But I admit that so much stuff that I thought was true was just because I was brainwashed, and I don't think I'm stupid, but I realize that people will think that I'm stupid just because I believe in God. Anyways, a lot of rambling. I just love it when they attack one another. You're not even allowed to be a Republican and be smart, according to Reddit standards. What was so great about your Republican Party before Trump? Seriously, he blah, 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 who cares? Yeah, I don't understand how an atheist can be part of the Christian fundamentalist party. Is he a pick-me or what? Now you're a pick-me atheist if you're a Republican and atheist. I'm going to end with some Bible verses. This is Job chapter 5, verse 13. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. That whole chapter of Job is pretty interesting. So I chose that of Job because it appears here in 1 Corinthians. And I know that this is Pauline stuff, and I have things to say about Paul, but just set that aside for now. Because, Paul was certainly a philosopher, and he spoke like a philosopher. And this is a sort of truth that gets shared among all sorts of philosophers. Show me a great philosopher out there. I don't like the adjective great, honestly. Show me a big philosopher out there on the world stage that we know about who doesn't say, hey, do you want to be smart? Forget everything that you thought you knew and start from there. It's like an axiom of all big philosophers. They say, you want to seek knowledge? Forget everything you ever assumed you knew and start from there. And I think it's because they realize that the world is a stage and there's so much deception out there, and that you have to do it yourself. Knowledge is a personal journey, and you can't just accept what other people tell you. So here's 1 Corinthians chapter 3, 18 to 19. Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. I just think of this as, the more you think of leveling up your nerdiness, and, oh, you're so smart, you're talking about astrophysics and stuff like that. A lot of times those are the most duped people, and they can't even take care of themselves. They live in a fantasy world, and so how smart is that? And then what if they find out at the end everything that they were doing was just a bunch of made up BS? More from 1 Corinthians chapter 1. This time, verse 27. But God hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and God hath chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. This is a really interesting verse to contemplate on, and I think it kind of goes exactly with that meme of, you got these smarty pants out here that are holding their pants up with like paper clips and teaching advanced physics classes, and they look like a psycho, like they cut their hair with, I don't know, in the dark, and they don't know how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but Anyways. And I mean, this reminds me of all the big deceptions are about, like, the ball Earth stuff and how they deceive so many of us with cartoons. That comes to mind with this stuff too. How they use cartoons and brainwashing from a young age to confuse people. Proverbs chapter 3 verses 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. I mean, this part of it comes to submission. People don't want to submit to God in a way that mortals need to submit to God, and they think that their brain is the ultimate, and that maximizing their IQ power and making their brain as smarty pants as it can be, that really is a trap that a lot of people fall into, myself included. I was like that. I used to really care about coming off as intelligent, and it's something you gotta break. Well, that's it for this video. God bless everyone.